Before I get into the main point of my video today, y'all, I wanted to talk about something from my last video that I forgot to mention in that video. It was about the great wealth transfer, right? And something that the Lord was reminding me of, and he's continued to bring it to my attention. That email I got was sent at 4:38 my time, okay? Now, in the Strongs, 4:38 means flower, blossom, right? And 4:38, I went to John 4:38, and I'm gonna pull it up and John 4:38. I sent you to harvest where you didn't plant, okay? Others had already done the work, and now you will get to gather the harvest. Y'all remember how I told you that 4:38 in the Strongs meant flower, bloom, right? So a couple days later, this pops up on my FYP, right? I see you trying. Don't give up. You are about to bloom. Then yesterday, Summer, right, on YouTube, she had felt led to go to the dollar store, right? And there were 3 different pictures, but when I was scrolling through them, I see bloom. God reconfirming his word, right? Because just like I told you in that video the other day, when it comes to a great wealth transfer and what that means, you know, there's a lot of cases, and I talked about this too, there's a lot of cases, y'all, because people always want to say, oh, you know, people who don't live for God, people who don't believe in God, so on and so forth, they just have everything, right? They're successful, they have all this and that and other. Sometimes God will allow them to build up that success because he is going to turn it over to one of his children, which essentially is what John 4:38 is saying. Amen. And then on top of that, yesterday my daughter was spending time with the Lord, and he dropped 341 into her. And 341 in the Strongs means to renew, to make new again, right? And then he told her, I'm trying to remember this, y'all, because she said she didn't write down the first part of it, only the second part of it. But she said that he said something like, it's time for the new, and then to step forward. Step forward into the new that God is doing, right? Matter of fact, last night when I was talking to the Lord, he dropped Isaiah 43:19 into me. So I know that God is moving. God is doing something in this season, y'all. I've been seeing it through other people's testimonies. God is in the neighborhood. Amen. And the last thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, I need help, okay? I do not have enough money to extend past Sunday. I have been extending by the week is the way that they have me set up here. And by the grace of God, by the grace of God in general, y'all, because if you know, you know, I've been out here for over a year, right? And the Lord has provided for me, amen. But since February until now, like I've been able to book by the week here at the hotel, and everything's been okay. But y'all know my situation, okay? Staying in hotels and stuff like that. So more money goes out than comes in, and it's gotten to that point now. Please, y'all, only if you feel led to sow, okay? I already prayed over the video. It's in the Lord's hands, amen. But I have to do my part and step out on faith and partner with God regarding this. You know, back in February, if y'all remember the last time I asked for help, you know, I was so distraught because I thought that God was going to come through for me in some supernatural way, right? Which he can and he will, but he often uses his children to help his other children, right? So I had to, you know, swallow that pride, I guess it was, and ask for help, you know. So when it came back around this time, you know, I prayed, I surrendered it to him, and may his will be done. And the thing is too, y'all, God blessed me with this car, right? Y'all know this, and I even with everything that I've had to put into it, I still consider it a blessing. But I had to put in like $3,000, I kid you not, okay, into repairs into this car in 1 month. So I wouldn't even need to really ask for help, you know, had that not happened, because that ate up like a bunch in addition to just staying here at the hotel in general. God knew that I was going to have to do them repairs, just like God knew that I was going to, you know, come into this position again where I was going to have to reach out and ask for help. So that's why I say, you know, I put it in his hands, right? Every good gift comes from the Lord. So if really, y'all, if you feel led to sow, please do, okay? Don't feel obligated. Don't feel, you know, whatever. Like I said, I prayed over the video. It's in the Lord's hands. But I want to thank you guys in advance just from previous sows for prayers, encouragement, everything, you know, because God gave me this platform to share my faith journey, to encourage people, to help people, right? But when I do that, it also helps me. So helping y'all helps me. Y'all's encouragement, you know, in the comments and stuff like that, when y'all email me, when we do one-on-ones and stuff like that, it helps me out too, okay? So I'm very grateful to God for this platform, for the community that I have, and so on and so forth. And I just may his will be done. I love working for the Lord, y'all. I do. I know there's a lot of unknown. There's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of what ifs. There's a lot of like what's going to happen and so on and so forth. But one thing God has taught me out here is to trust and have faith, right? He has kept me and my family this whole entire time, y'all. So God is a man of his word, right? Sometimes we just have to go outside of our comfort zone, you know, and go and step into these uncertainties, right? But faith is the currency, baby. You need faith, right? Faith and trust in God, because you cannot be steered wrong with that. And I will update you guys in regards to like my situation, okay? But if you do feel led to sow, my Cash App and my Venmo are in my profile. Thank you guys again.